All right, y'all, let's dive into it. Welcome. It is great to be with everyone here today. I cannot believe that we're already past the middle of April 2023. Raise your hand if you guys think time is flying a little too quickly this year. Yeah, everyone's hands are flying up there. Well, let's make the most of our time here today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I'm Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories, and so much more. David, thank you for taking the time to join us in the webinar today.
Hey everybody, glad to be back with you for a brand new webinar. This year certainly has flown by, but we've got some great updates to share this week, so really looking forward to it.
And a fun contest to share. So let's actually breeze through some of these intro slides here. So good news is we are streaming on YouTube Live. We definitely recommend subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can just head on over right now quickly to brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube and click on that subscribe button. You'll get updated with the newest webinars when they're released, the tips of the week, any tutorial videos that we launch there, and more. Also, the good news about streaming on YouTube Live, immediately after the webinar, we will share a replay of the video in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group, and you can join us there, brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. It's a great way to stay in touch in between webinar Wednesdays. The group is popping. Lots of people are asking questions, getting help from fellow members. I'm in there myself assisting people in there, and it's just a really positive place if you're working on your membership website. So we definitely welcome everyone and encourage you to join us there. And speaking of the Facebook group, we are running another iPad giveaway contest there. I guess historically now we're running these about every 6 months. They're lots of fun. Let us share the link with you in the chat here. All you need to do in order to enter is just leave one comment. You don't need to comment multiple times. Just leave one comment here. I'll share the link from the Facebook group of the color iPad that you'd like us to send you if you are in fact the winner. We'll be announcing the winner on May 1st, so just at the turn of the new month, in just over a week or so. And along with the iPad giveaway, we will have some secondary prizes, lifetime website license giveaways, and maybe a couple more things. So just take a second and just enter the color iPad that you'd like us to send you. Let's see how many comments we have in here so far. It's about 262 comments, but probably it'll tick up closer to 300 or 400 comments by the time we do the announcement. So 1 in 400 chance to win an iPad. It's pretty good odds. All right, back to the webinar and the fun stuff. So I do see a lot of new names and faces. Thank you guys for joining us and welcome into the BD family. Just a little bit about Webinar Wednesdays. We like to reserve this time to share some of the newer updates that are built into the platform week after week. Your emails to our support team, questions in the Facebook group, and also participation in the webinar really give us ideas for features we should build into the platform. And in Webinar Wednesdays, we like to share some of those updates that can give you actionable steps to help grow your community. So we'll cover topics such as how to increase traffic, converting visitors to members, improving your navigation, generating more revenue and things like that. So if you have questions on any of these topics or anything else about your membership website, we should have more than enough time to get to everyone's questions here today. So please save your questions, as many as you have. We'll try to take one question at a time, and then we'll circle back around to you if you have multiple questions. So yeah, we look forward to the Q&A session today in the webinar. All right, and we do have a hefty number of BD Lab updates to share. I'll breeze through this list starting at the very top there. The first one here is related to the speed of your homepage. If you're using the background slider for the homepage, shows different images on your homepage, there is now an option to only enable this on desktops. It can check devices, so if it's a mobile device, it will just load a single image, and that's really good for mobile page load speeds because, to be honest, image slideshows on mobile devices really give poor scores. They slow down the speed because the user has to download multiple large images as well as the code that cycles through them. So let me show you where that setting is. This would be in your design settings, and I'll show you the add-on this is related to. So that's only if you're using the image slideshow on your homepage, but if you do have it enabled, I would recommend this if you're using the slideshow to select this setting. So if we go to design settings, homepage, scroll down to image slider settings, under enable slideshow, there's now an option for desktop only, and I would recommend this, or desktop and mobile. Now, if you're using desktop only, what image is going to show if the slideshow is not showing? Well, first, it's going to show on mobile, if you're doing desktop only, your hero background image. So this static image here. So those of you who wanted a separate mobile image for your homepage, you may want to utilize this. You can have the mobile image here, and then the slideshow on desktop would be these images here. If you want, here's a simple workaround. Actually, a lot of people wanted, and they're just using one image, and they want one image for desktop and a different size for mobile. In that case, just if a workaround here is enable the slideshow and only have one slide enabled and have that for your desktop, and then use the homepage background image here as the mobile version of your homepage. So maybe a smaller image, less file size, maybe a different proportions, more like a square instead of a horizontal rectangle for desktop, and so on. So that's available for you guys, and I think it will, if you're using the slideshow on your homepage, it will help improve your mobile page speeds. So desktop only there. Okay, in the admin area under the web page builder, this one's a little bit more for convenience. Now you can see a quick snapshot of the screenshots of the images. It should be able to grab them 99% of the time, so you can just kind of see what you're working with here when you're looking at the screen. If you notice that there's a white screen there, just give it 24 hours. It doesn't check every minute. If there's an update, it checks every 24 hours, I believe. But this should just be a little bit nicer when you're working and you have a lot of pages like this. Here's an example where it didn't get the image. Sometimes a refresh works, or just give it a day or so to catch up with that image. All right, this next one is related to the dynamic category filtering add-on. It puts checkboxes in the member search results sidebar, and it lets users check off the categories that they want to see members of in the results. Up until now, it's been limited to just checking categories. There is an option now where you can add a location search in addition to that. Let me quickly show you what that looks like. I have a sample here. So where you enable this in the edit post settings for members, I'll show you in just a moment. Prior to this update, you were limited to just using the dynamic search with the checkboxes, and there really wasn't an ability to also search a location. So if you wanted to search restaurants with outdoor seating, there was no way to enter the location. So now you can do that along with the sidebar, the dynamic filtering on the sidebar. So if you're using this already and you want to add the location, let me show you where you can do. So there's a couple ways to do it, but this is the main way. Under My Content, we want to go to Edit Post Settings. And if we scroll down to Member Listings or Listings, you'll have that. It should be the very bottom one. Under Search Results Design, Additional Settings. So we're editing the Member Listings post type, Search Results Design, Additional Settings. And for sidebar, there's an option to select the sidebar search module to use. I'll click over here, and if you scroll down, if you have the dynamic category filtering add-on, we can see here are the OG original ones, top level category, top sub level. Now there's a corresponding one that also includes the location. So top level category plus location, top sub and location, sub sub and location, and the whole enchilada, top sub, sub sub, and location there. So you guys can play around with that and see what works best for you on your site. All right, next one here related to webhooks. Webhooks allow you to send data that's created on your site out to other third-party solutions and services. And if you're using webhooks for paid signups and you're using an external gateway like PayPal Standard, where the user comes to your checkout page and then is diverted to PayPal to complete their payment and then come back to your site, those are now compatible with the paid signup webhook, so you can send that data into Zapier or wherever you want to port that data to. Next one here related to imports. We have been waiting on this one for a while, and this one is fresh, hot off the press. I actually don't even have an example of it, but I wanted to mention it here because I know a lot of people are excited for this. You can now upload a CSV file of your posts with the images. Prior it was just, title, the content of the article or event, but now you can import posts such as coupons, events, etc. with their images. Let me show you where you would import posts. Again, we're going to have more on this in future webinars. We'll be able to create more tutorials, but I just wanted to share it with you guys here. If you go to manage posts, there's a green button here right now that says import a post file. This is a CSV import. And because this is so new, there is a link to view the import guide. And this is where you would upload your file, your CSV file. And if you click on that link, how to import posts via CSV file, I don't even think they've added yet the information for images because it just got released, but you can do that. And if I scroll down at the bottom here, I just want to show you, there are example import file templates that you can download. Here we go. At the very bottom here, these are import file templates. So you could use these and then import them with the post. The reason this is so amazing and valuable is not necessarily importing the post via CSV file. However, that will make it easier to migrate from other solutions such as WordPress. But if we scroll down here in my coming soon, the first one here, Zapier API import posts from feeds and third-party sources. So if you have an RSS feed of a blog or something that has events, now that we've created this, the import functionality with images, you'll be able to, what's coming soon and next is use feeds and populate your site automatically using third-party sources. So it's going to be really cool, and we're going to create lots of tutorials around this because I think it's just going to empower the website owner to establish a site a lot quicker rather than manually inputting and creating posts and things like that. So the future of BD is almost like instant content on your website or close to it, and we're excited to share with you down the line how you can achieve those things. Moving on, let me contain my excitement there. This one I wanted to share in the updates because Google was aggressively emailing anyone who had the Google login add-on where users can sign up or log into your site using their Google account. The code has been updated with their most secure method at this point, so there's no further action required by website owners, and you can ignore any of Google's emails or notifications asking you to update this on your site. BD has already taken care of it. And this last one here is not really a feature update, but it comes up in the Facebook group a lot, and we're going to post a workaround article, is how to center your logo at the top of your site. There are cases where you don't want your logo shifted to the left of the page and you want it in the center of the page. So I just wanted to share a quick workaround with everyone who may be interested in doing this, and it's just some alerts and things to consider, best practices for doing this. So what we're referring to here is the logo. Here's an example of it centered. So this is where the logo usually is, here on the left of your screen. And if we look in like a mobile view, it automatically gets centered by itself. We can see that here. And there are cases where you may want the logo centered. So before we center the logo and I provide the code, it's pretty simple. It's copy and paste. We may even make this a setting later. You want to make sure you're using an image for your logo. Using the text version, it can work, but you really don't get the same effect. And if there isn't enough space for the text, it kind of breaks the logo name and things like that. So you want to make sure you're using an image, and also be conscious of the size of your image. You don't want a skyscraper tower. Maybe you do, but real estate on web pages is pretty valuable, and you don't necessarily want, like I said, like a vertical skyscraper of a logo occupying the majority of the page with empty space on the left. Another consideration is if the logo is going to be centered here, you want to make sure that you don't really have a heavy header menu on your site. In this case, we just have contact us, member, login. But if you're using this with many links here, it may not make sense or may not be desired to have the logo centered here. So let me quickly show you here. I have just a very small piece. If you don't know what CSS code is, you really don't need to worry about it. But we'll paste this in the chat here. for those of you that want to play around with it on your site. So you would just copy and paste all of this that I put there, and you would go to design settings. And from there, we're going to go to custom CSS. Those are design rules. And we will just, I'll just put all this stuff at the bottom here. And we'll just paste that over here. These are just some rules for the website logo, so it behaves a little differently. And we'll save the changes, and we'll refresh the page here. And there we have it. Pretty simple right there. Yeah, in some cases, some sites don't even have like this header right section here. They hide it altogether, and yeah, it does make a nice, very simple presentation if it's just the logo and then the main menu, or even Sans main menu, just the logo and the content below it. It's a much cleaner look in some cases. And then in addition to that, we do have, just to recap here, in the header design. Let me just scroll down. We do have some header mobile view settings. These have existed for a year plus at this point. You can have different website logos. So there's like a compact view. Let's just set that together real quick, just to show you that. Let's save that. And what the compact view does is, I believe it puts the logo in the same line as this menu here, the blue bar. Yeah, so there we go. And it uses the background of the header background here. In the event that there isn't enough contrast with your main menu background here, you'll see this, it'll contrast the logo nicely. So now we just saved a bit more real estate with this logo compact view. And then there's a fav icon compact view. The fav icon is this little icon here we see at the top of our tabs. So if you're using one for your brand, let's save this one more time. And if we refresh that, we can see here, so that's more like an app-like experience, right? So an app has like a single square, I guess chiclet they used to call them, or icon. So you can have that as an option. And again, we're just saving a bit of real estate on mobile. If I open this up a bit, we should see the regular logo back here and centered. And let's see what other settings would be useful here. Oh, there are header search you can hide on mobile, mini nav links. That's the menu basically in the header there. And the website header we can hide on mobile. Let's just turn all this off, hide on mobile. And again, you may want to consider this to create a better mobile experience for your users on your site. You may not want to get rid of everything on mobile, but here we can see just having the menu here and the fav icon to represent your website's brand may just be enough, and you've saved a lot of real estate on mobile for people who are using your site. Let's go to a search results page. So that's pretty cool. Just something for you guys to consider. And those settings, again, are under design settings, header design, this one here. If you scroll a little bit down, there are header mobile view settings. All right, great. And then coming down the line, some updates, as I mentioned, importing posts from feeds, really excited about that. Also, your BD sites do come with an RSS feed add-on as an option. By default, when we originally launched this, to make it compatible with the majority of RSS feed readers, it did not include the post image. There's going to be an alternate URL that you can use when you need to fetch the post's image from your own RSS feed. We are going to do a tip of the week on how to turn your RSS feeds into email newsletters to your members. So oftentimes people say, I want my members to get notified when there's a new event listing on my site. So we're going to show you a workaround to get you guys probably 80% there with some filters and things, just to make sure your members aren't receiving, I guess, like garbage posts or posts that are not don't have as much good quality in them. And then lastly here, the ability to edit the join date of your members. Perhaps you imported a bunch of members and you want to modify their join date. You'll have the ability to do that. And there are tons more speed, security, and quality of life features coming down the line. I'm actually very excited for May, and I'm excited for the future webinars. We really want to dive into how the leads module works, how to monetize that a bit better. We're going to be making updates to email newsletters to make a better workflow and targeting and segmenting members even better with your email newsletter, and lots more. So I want to give a big shout out to the BD community. Before we move on, if you want to raise your hand and have any questions or comments about these specific features, we can take one or two now, and then we can move on with the rest of the webinar here. All right, Eric, here we go.
Hi, Jason.
How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Great to have you on the webinar here.
Yeah, this is terrific. I don't have a chance to come on to webinars on a regular basis, but when I do, I always find a really good tip. So I just made that update on the compact view of our logo for the mobile site and tested it out. It looks terrific. I'll do that with
Super.
both of our BD sites. I did have a quick question because I'm always looking for improvements, ways to do things better on our current sites that have been around for a while. And whether you want to talk about this topic now or some other time, what would be the benefit of having an app as opposed to a mobile site, just in terms of functionality, whether it's a better result for people using the site as a resource? Just wanted to get your opinion on that.
So, first of all, that's a great question. A lot of people, when they get their directory site, they feel the tendency or need to, I need to make an app out of this. We see that question asked a lot in the Facebook group. There's pros and cons. I'll tell you one of the cons right away. Well, I'll tell you I'll tell you the cons. The cons real quick is, Apple, and I don't know about Android, but if your website has any type of payment going through it, they tax you like 30% of that, and they put some hurdles up to make it go through like Apple Pay or whatever. I'm not too familiar with it, but whatever payment workflow that you need to go through inside of the app. Otherwise, they'll kick you out of the app at the App Store if you don't meet those requirements. Number two is, if you're a search directory, you have to ask yourself, besides your members, like, is the end user going to use your app daily, or are they just going to use it one time, get what they need, and then leave? Does it really warrant somebody to add it to their phone and take up space as a formal app? Another thing is the BD sites are mobile friendly. So what they see on their mobile browser is kind of what they're going to see in the app. If you're just going to render your site with an app, which is the quickest way to turn your site into an app, is just render your website within an app framework, and then it will be mobile friendly. Also, now Apple, and I think Android too, they allow you to save web pages to your smartphone's wallpaper. So you can save a website's homepage like an app on your device, and then now there are ways to send. We're going to explore this at BD, but if people do that, ways to send them push notifications as well if they've added your website to their home screen, or you can swipe to see all your apps on your phone, but if it's one of the app, or if it's saved like an app on your phone. So the need to really have an app, I think, if you have like a backend portal for your staff or a backend portal just for B2B where your members can quickly access their messages of their profiles, that would be a useful case for an app, for a directory where your members can kind of see their leads, accept leads, and do things on the go, because they're going to be using your site on a day-to-day basis. So I can see a member-facing app being useful, but if it's just a search directory for the end user, who may just use your site one or a few times just to get the data they want or connect with the professional they need for that one project that they're going to do in their life a couple times, then yeah, just you have to see who's getting value out of the app, and what is the cost to you as the website owner to manage that app and just keep it updated and things like that.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that feedback. It's important to know the options that are out there.
Yeah. But it's a great question, and I think a few people have. Well, I'll tell you this much: with the API now open with Brilliant Directories, the API allows you to read your member data, and with that, you can design your own templates for your own apps. And developers are starting to do that with BD very slowly. Everything's just so fresh now, but I do foresee more developers creating templated apps for the member directories or for members to manage some of the key points of their profiles on the go using an app framework. So apps are good. You just have to wonder who's going to use them as far as part of your who you're targeting and things like that.
Great. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Sure thing. Good question there, Eric. And I guess with that, we'll segue on to the questions and answers portion. So if you guys need any assistance with your site or have questions about membership sites in general, please feel free to use the raise your hand feature, and we could take a few questions and go from there. You can also type in your questions as needed. All right, we see some hands going up here. We got our good friend VJ here. How you doing today?
Good, good. Yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thank you so much.
Good. Just a question about the pretty URLs feature. We added the API for the Google API in the admin thing, and just wondering how it works. Based on the help docs, I didn't fully understand it. So in the help docs of BD, it said that when you add the Google API for pretty URLs, that you could, Google or something creates a URL that's not that dynamic thing if somebody was to search on your site.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay, no, this is a great question. Let me show you an example here, okay? So what it's going to do is it's going to provide you with more. So if I do a search for Los Angeles using the just the search field here, we're going to get an ugly URL. So it basically has, you know, the question mark. If you do a search on Amazon or Yelp, you're usually going to get a result like this. However, if we can see here, it caught 4 results. And it knows that because in this long URL, it's getting longitude, latitude, it knows the boundaries of the search, etc. Let me get the canonical URL here. The pretty URL would be, let me see here, this one here. And this exists for all BD sites, and this is what makes BD sites kind of optimized for SEO out of the gate. The canonical URLs are already created, even though it's displaying an ugly URL, it does have, or a more precise URL, it does have a corresponding canonical URL. This is what it tells search engines to look for. I don't know if this site has the pretty URLs for Google, but we can see 4 results here. Let me do a search here. In this case,
we set it up on our site because there's a couple of areas that we want to create static landing pages for, but we couldn't get it to work.
You couldn't get it to work. Let's take a look at it together if you don't mind.
Sure.
What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to get the same number of results, I believe, as the long form URL, having the pretty URL enabled.
Yeah, because we thought that might have been a way that we could work around to create a SEO landing page for some of the areas that BD doesn't pick up, or that Google doesn't pick up for the geocoding.
Got you. So you would want, it would still need to be a valid search results page. It can't just be any random location or region type. So what I would recommend doing on your site is doing the search for that region. Like what's one location you're trying to get results
So for example, like we're in Auckland, New Zealand, and we can't geocode, for example, West Auckland, if that makes sense. Also, for example, you might, I don't know how it works in LA if there was West LA or something like that.
What's your website?
So it's eventplanner.co.nz, and then so we do get the search results when we search. So if we typed in South Auckland as an example,
like here, South Auckland. Let's see what the canonical. Yeah. So in this case, this is the canonical URL, Auckland, for this. Let's see, you have 843 results, and let's see when you do this one, 849. So actually, that's pretty good for what the pretty URL thing update does.
So
the
I
API.
think that might not have been the best example. Maybe if we typed in West Auckland, I think.
Okay, West Auckland.
Yeah.
Okay, would it be this? Okay, let's do a search together. Now, is West Auckland a city? Is it a neighborhood? What is it considered?
So Auckland's the city, and that's just like, for example, there's searches for people that type in West, if that makes sense.
Got you. So here is West Auckland here. So this would be the pretty URL for West Auckland. But there, oh, you didn't make us. Let's see here. That actually should have worked. That's something to notify support about. This is the canonical URL. It should go to the search results page for it. The page we were just on, which is this one here. Let's see one more time.
Yeah, see, I don't think those results are actually correct, because I think we have a member in West Auckland as an example?
Another thing is your radius in your, another thing to maybe check. You might, since you're going to be doing more specific searches, under search settings is the default search radius. You may want to shrink it, or you can leave it large and then you enable strict search. So it will only, even though the radius might be large, once it hits the boundary limit of that region type, it will cut off the results from there. So you may want to also do strict search as well. And that will, again, even if the radius is outside of the searched area, it'll cut the results to the postal code, the country, or the city match as well. And that may help you get more precise results as well. However, one thing I'm just noticing is this canonical URL, unless you have a redirect set up somewhere, it should be linking to this page itself. It should be showing similar results here. It shouldn't take you to the home page here. Or something's happening here because it's
so like,
URL. Yeah, but I would show this example to the support team.
Okay. Yeah, I'll play around because I saw you look at that code which had that canonical URL, and that might actually answer some of the questions on the pretty URL thing.
Yeah, and just so you know, like all these canonical URLs should be going to the same type of search results, but like this title should be the same. So I'm a little concerned why yours is going to the home page, or it's showing the home page. It's not redirecting to the home page because it is maintaining the URL. It's keeping the /. So we have to see. I would figure out why that's happening in the first place.
Okay, I'll have another look around.
Okay. All right, I wish I had more info, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of direction to go after. Thank you. All right, good question there from VJ. All right, we got a bunch of hands up here. I will start in the middle with Ivan. Ivan, looks like you're self-muted. There we go.
Yeah, I am. Thank you so much. Listen, I have a question about spam emails that come through. Every time that somebody signs up, I go in and I block the IP address. But is there an easier way to do it?
Yeah, there's a couple things you can do. These are related to unwanted signups to your site.
Yeah, signups and just emails that I get. Like,
do you mind if can we take a look at one of your sites? Is that possible?
Sure. Thisgreatcity.com.
Thisgreatcity.com. Okay, give me one moment here. Let me just, this will be a good, unwanted signups is, especially if you have a free plan, sometimes it's inevitable once, we talk about this in different webinars, but once some of these SEO listing companies find a website property that has a free profile account, they'll just hit it up and start trying to use it to create free listings for their clients. If you go to Fiverr, there's tons of these SEO services and they're looking for sites with free signups. But let me just do a few things just to check here. I just want to check first that you do have your spam keyword list set up, so that's good for messages. I would recommend clicking this one, the block spoof characters. This one is good for your website contact us form, not necessarily for signups. These are spammers oftentimes use these characters when submit. They look like regular characters, but we've pinned them to associated them with a high level when it's a spam message. So that should help stop messages to your contact us form and to your members as well. So if you have an English language site, guys, I would recommend coming to your general settings, integrations tab, and clicking on block spoof characters. I'll just go ahead and let me just check your site out real quick, and we'll go to your free sign up page. Let me just check something here. Okay, so you have paid plans, and then you have a free plan as well.
Yeah, citizens. That's the button there at the bottom there. That's yeah, that's it right there.
Gotcha. I'll be honest, just as a design thing, I felt this was an ad banner actually where it's located. I didn't feel like oh, this is where I sign up as a free member if I'm not ready to pay yet. So I may be moving it up higher, or if it's working for you, keep it where it's at. But that was my first instinct. It was just an advertisement.
No, great point. Okay.
All right, so we come here. Oh, this is a great page, by the way. I love seeing the smiley faces here. So this is great. So let's go to your free sign up. Okay, So you have your free sign up form. So a couple things you can do here if you're getting some spam signups. The first thing you can do is you may want to change the URL here. You would have to go to all your landing pages where you kind of link to this page. It might be that this URL is a known URL of free signups on your site, and that can help stop it right out the gate.
Okay.
Just updating that. I'm not going to do it for you, but let me show you where you would do it. So this is a general sign up. You would go to edit, and I'm going to search for URL, and here's the member sign up page URL. So you know, maybe you want to call it citizen or something like that, and that will be the new sign up page. However, do keep in mind that any landing pages like you've created, you're going to want to update that /checkout 5 to go to a new page, and that should slow it down a bit because it's probably the URL of your site that's been flagged for like a free sign up profile and things like that. Another thing you can do, it's a little more advanced, and let me see if I can find this. We've also talked about this in the webinars. You can set a timer. Let me see. I think it's called a delay. There's something where if that free sign up form is filled out too quickly by a bot, by like a robot that's coming to your site and doing it, it will not allow the sign up to happen. I forgot the name of it. Oh, here, spam protection, member sign up form time. So you actually have it to 2. You might want to increase it. I mean, if someone really came to this page with the loading time of the page, it's probably going to take them about at least 4 seconds to fill it out with the 2 emails, their password, clicking the box. So you may want to just update this from 2 to 4. And if that means that if anyone fills out that 4 from the moment the page loads faster than 4 seconds, it's going to stop the submission and they're going to have to wait. So that might thwart away some of these bots if it is bots signing up through your sign up page.
Okay.
So I'll enable that as well. And then lastly, you were doing the correct thing. When members sign up, you can see the IP address and then just copy and paste it to block that IP address. So those would be 3 simple things you can do to kind of mitigate unwanted signups on your site. Obviously, unwanted signups are annoying and a nuisance, but those are some quick things to do.
I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much.
All right, you're welcome, and good luck. All right, great question there from Ivan. We got a hand up from a David.
Hello, this is David Coakley in Virginia. How are you?
How's it going, David? Thanks for joining us today.
Going great. Years ago, I purchased or subscribed to 5 Brilliant Directories. I have one that is active, and I launched it years ago and kind of shoved it out to sea, and it just floated away, and I kind of forgot about it basically, and I checked months ago, and over the years, I have 10,800 members or listings, and I set it up as a small business directory, and at the time I was concerned about not having enough volume of listings, so I chose to go international, and about 60% of the listings are US based, 40% are international. And so I don't know if I can ask a couple of strategic questions. Is that cool with you guys?
Absolutely, fire away.
Yeah, so I've got these listings. The quality of the listings is actually pretty good. I generally speaking have logos for all of them. If somebody doesn't upload a logo, I have been deleting their listings. So it looks good, and there's a lot of content on the site. My first question is, should I lop off worldwide and get rid of the international listings and just continue forward with US only as I begin to try to monetize this monster?
Is it possible to take a look at your site?
Sure. Smallbusinesstoday.net.
All right, let's take a look at this together.
Yeah, I was blown away when I looked at it. You know, when it started, it was few and far between as far as listings, but the people you described earlier have discovered the site.
Right, and again, they're for the most part they are legitimate listings because they're doing quality SEO listings for their clients.
Right.
The only reason it's bad sometimes is if you have a niche directory, like a wedding directory in a certain state, you don't necessarily want a lawyer from Nevada or whatever, being listed on the site. It just doesn't match. But if in this case, you're a small business directory, you're almost like an everything for everyone type of business directory.
Yeah, I'm a hardcore entrepreneur. I love entrepreneurs. I encourage everybody to become one. So, my heart told me why not let entrepreneurs around the world join? But now that what I plan on doing is coming up with a fair price, and that's my next question. When somebody creates a listing, the page authority is immediately 20. So it's not insignificant from an SEO perspective. So I want to start sending emails to all of the folks that are currently listed and let them know that it's no longer free to play, and start with listings first. And so I just don't know whether to lock international folks before I do that, and focus on just US only, or just give anybody that's willing to pay what I ask the ability to stay on.
Gotcha. Well, first thing is, I wouldn't delete people who haven't uploaded their logos yet. I have another workaround for you.
Okay.
And then I'll address the international people in just a moment. And then the advertising component, I'll address that in a moment as well. So what I would recommend doing is, instead of deleting the people who have not uploaded a logo, is utilize the require complete profiles setting here. In general settings, search settings, require complete profile. Set this to yes. At a minimum, in order for them to show in the search results, they have to have a name, select a top level category, a profile photo or logo, and input an address. So I would set that to yes. You can edit settings to require more fields, but I think for your case, just because you want just the minimum quality profile, this should suffice for you. So I would recommend enabling that. And whoever doesn't meet this, they still have a profile. They just don't show up in the search results in the public facing directory to your website visitors. So they're not getting visibility here. So I would set that to yes.
Okay.
The second thing I would do, can I set this to yes for you?
Sure.
Okay. When you set this to yes, you get an extra filter in your search members page. Let me refresh the page now that we've set this to yes. What I would recommend doing here, you see profile statuses now here, because we've set this to yes. What you can do is search for members who have incomplete profiles. And let's do a search now out of your 10,890 who does not have at least a profile photo, top level category, address, etc. So 262 people don't have the minimum. It's not bad at all, actually. That's a tiny percentage considering the site's been running on its own. So what you can do here, and this is advice for everyone, and everyone might have different incomplete or complete profile criteria, but what you can do from here is, under list actions, is create a smart list and call the smart list a nickname called like incomplete profiles, and save that. Now that this group of 262 people are a smart list, and let's go to smart lists here.
You're going to show me how to send them an email?
You can go to your email templates and design up an email saying, hey, we love that your participation on our site, but you're not getting the visibility you can get. You're missing out on visibility. You need to at least have X, Y, and Z, whatever the required profile is, and provide them a link to come back to the site, log in, and then also say, like, if you'd even like a boost, then these are the options to pay. So that's what I would do with your incomplete and international profiles, is I wouldn't delete them. I would focus on complete versus incomplete profiles. So the same thing with your international members. I would allow them. There's no reason, if someone wants to search London, UK, that they shouldn't be able to find a shoe cobbler there if they've signed up to your site. Regarding advertising, I'd figure out what you want to offer. And we did a webinar. Let me go to brilliantdirectories.com. I love this webinar that we did. And I'm not going to go over all the details, but let me do a quick search here, and I'll share this.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to do a second webinar in one.
Yeah, so we did a webinar, 15 boosts members will pay for to increase their visibility. And these are things and upsells you can sell and offer to your members. Let me just scroll down here. We should have a checklist. their order and your search results, member badges, more info on their profile pages. There's a laundry list of things here, and it just empowers you as the website owner. You can handpick which ones make sense for you. Let me share this article in the chat here. This is a video from our blog. And what I would do is, after you've chosen which ones of these you want to offer to your members, on your website is if you're going to offer like a sidebar banner, go ahead and do one for a member complimentary. They don't even need to know about it. Basically, put all these advertisements around your site already
as a
on
sample
behalf of the members as a sample, or just make it seem like it's there for real, like somebody paid for it. You know, you just want something tangible that people can get excited about on your site. And usually, if you're you have a lot of categories and a lot of locations, either a business wants a category takeover. So like if you search a lawyer or immigration attorney, a specific category, you can sell a buyout package and put their banners and put them at the top and in the sidebar, etc. We covered in the video. Or it might be more specific, where they want to be in a certain location, like for Los Angeles plumbers. They want to be, because it doesn't make sense to be a plumber in New York if you're servicing Los Angeles. So what's cool about BD also is you can do, let me just say one more thing here. Let me go here and search for SEO. So if you are going to get customers that want to be like in Los Angeles plumbers category, what you're going to want to do is put different sidebars on those different pages. And as VJ was saying, he's creating landing pages for his different search locations. So here's what I wanted to share with you. Add custom content, banners, and SEO value to search results pages. Basically, AKA what this is saying is, if you have advertisers that want to advertise on a specific search results page, this will show you how to add that custom content to just one category or category plus location search results page. So let me share this here. So I'll stop there. I think that's good advice. The complete profiles, emailing them, keeping your international people, and then the videos that I shared in the chat here with everyone. I'd have a look at those after the webinar here.
So I think it's pretty obvious that the real value isn't from the volume of consumers that are showing up at the site. The value is to all the millions of the SEO guys out there and gals. What is a page that has page authority 20 worth in the SEO world annually? $10, $12, $20, no bucks? It's worth something, right?
So domain authority would be more for backlinks.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, so I'm not too sure about that. You can check Fiverr and see what the going rate is for like a backlink on a domain authority 20 site.
Yeah, that's a good. I'll do that.
However, you may want to reach out to the businesses themselves, or email them and let them know that they're getting a lot of visibility, and you can help them generate more leads. So forget about SEO. You can actually deliver them potentially real leads to them, because I'm sure there's some type, if they're finding your site, some level of consumers are finding your site too. So
Yes.
You can do it both ways. You can offer backlinks if your site's DA20. There is value there, by the way. Or you can, just give them more. It's just a pride thing, right? You're another directory and they just want visibility. They want to be at the top of your results. They'll pay a nominal fee for that. All right. Great question there, David. Love the topic.
Really appreciate it. We talked on the phone a while back, and I appreciated that conversation as well. I can't imagine all the work that's gone into getting this to where it is now today.
Well, it's thanks to you guys for believing in us the whole way. You mentioned that you've had 5 BD sites for a while, so yeah, we appreciate you. All right, let's moving on here. Thank you, David. All right, we got our good friend Jeff here.
Good morning.
Hey, Jeff. Good morning. How are you there?
Good. Now, I'm not sure whether you could cater for this in this seminar, but I need to get more explanation about adding emails and DNS and domain name. Is that somewhere that you've got in documentation, or can you do a segment on that somewhere along the line?
Yeah, are you using a subdomain for your website, or are you using name servers to point your domain to BD?
Yeah, I'm using name servers. We have a domain. Now, our provider just closed its mail exchange, so I had a complication with that, and I'm just wondering whether that the BD site can cater for that in the emails.
Yes, it can. Let me just show you a couple things here. Give me one moment. I'm assuming you've gone to the domain manager and seen the email deliverability settings.
Yeah, I looked at that. I'm a little bit confused about all that.
Gotcha. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I get confused about these two, and sometimes I'll just I'll defer to the support team. But in a nutshell, oh, this is a staging domain. Give me a moment here. Let me find an example here I can use for you. All right. So under the domain manager, yeah, the email. So under email deliverability, what we're after here is an all good over here, especially if you've connected your name server. If you're seeing this, then emails from your BD site probably have a 99.99% chance that they're reaching your senders. Now, if you're also using another mail exchange platform, but you've pointed your name servers to BD, I believe what you can do is a couple things here. I don't want to give bad information here. These are records. Again, this is a little bit outside my realm, but these are records that you can copy and paste as needed. And then in addition to that, if your separate mail exchange is asking you like add this to your domain, I believe what you do is you go to cPanel and where I went and you search for like TXT, rather is the zone editor, DNS zone records, and they're going to tell you to copy and paste certain things here, which is basically telling your domain, like you're going to want to add an MX record to Holistic Health Finder. It's going to be the MX record of whatever mail exchange platform you're using outside of B, and then that will allow them to work to that platform to work with your domain's emails as well. That's probably as much as I can share from my knowledge of it, unless there's like a specific example. But again, I would defer to the support team. They're very eager to help with making sure your emails are working properly. So if you let them know what mail exchange you're using and what they're asking you to do, the instructions, the support team will be happy to kind of guide you.
Just to clarify, BD can't act as a mail exchange, is that correct?
It can. BD can handle all your mail for your domain.
So you don't need a third party. You can just have your domain hosted, and then BD can handle the mail exchange.
Precisely. I've recently did that. We set up a domain name, and if you go to email accounts and you go to add edit email addresses, you can then create an email address with whatever you want: social, promotions, Nina, info. And then you can also connect it to your devices. In most cases, I use Gmail. So when I create a domain on a Brilliant Directory site, I just follow the instructions to connect it to Gmail or to my iPhone and whatnot. So, and then I can send and receive emails from my other devices as well. So yeah, you can manage all your emails in BD if you're pointing your name servers. Also, if you're using a subdomain as well.
All right, that's clarified it a little bit more for me. I'll have to do some more research. Okay. There is documentation on that on BD?
There should be. Let's see, email addresses, Brilliant Directories, connect. Let's see what comes up with the Google search. Set up and manage email addresses. That's from our blog. Here we go, email accounts. I'll just share this link here. These are probably broad stroke. Here's a folder with a few different pieces of documentation. Yeah. I'm going to drop this in the chat for you, Jeff, here.
All right.
And everyone else should have access to that too.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Here, let's go with our friend Roger. How you doing, Roger?
Good evening. Can you hear me on the mic?
Yeah, I can. Thank you for being patient there.
Oh, no, that's fine. Thank you. We set up with you a couple of months ago and brought over 1,700 folks from the Wild Apricot folks and brought it in, and everything seems to be working really well. We're pretty happy with it, and it's functioning quite well. But one of the features that they've asked me to help set up, and I haven't had the chance to ask you if this is possible with yours, but their other site that they had, when someone became a member, they could print a membership card from the site. So they could print their own. Once they signed up and paid, it would give them. It's more. I'm assuming it's just more or less a JPEG that's pre-filled out, with the data from their sign up. I'm wondering, do you have something like that that you can do within the software?
It's going to have to be a workaround.
Mm-hmm.
What data was on that card exactly? Obviously their logo or photo, their name or company name, the date,
Right.
the member since, I'm assuming like a Costco
I think it's
card.
just probably their membership ID number, their name and ID number could be, and then maybe their date that the card is valid till or something like that. Because so they can have either a 1-year membership or a lifetime membership. They can buy one or the other.
Gotcha. Okay, there isn't anything default. Let me think. I
forgot to take a screenshot of it, before we dumped the site off and went on with you folks. And I regret that now that I missed out not snapping a shot of that for you. But it really doesn't have to be much. It's just their logo and their name, and then
gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me go somewhere real quick here.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to. I'm thinking this has come up. It doesn't come up too frequently because physical membership cards are fewer and far between at this point. It's more for like students and things like that, but it is still a thing. What I'm thinking is, right here at the top of their page, you got their picture and their name. See, another thing you can do is you can use Zapier. And I'm betting there's some way to send the member data to a tool that can create membership cards.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you just port the data and then the other tool will create the membership cards. However, it has come up enough where I think we may want to make it an add-on that's part of the VIP add-ons club. And where I feel we can add it to would be, let me go here. Similar to how we have the QR code in the member dashboard as an option, is if you have this add-on, you can decide if you want to provide a membership card to your members. The difficulty becomes, let me ask you another question. With their other platform, how much control did they have over the design of this automated card that was created besides the default data that was on it?
That is a good question. I never asked them that. I could reach back to you on that. I'm still working with them getting the site finished. We've got it mostly completed. So I don't know what kind of control they had on it.
Gotcha. If you don't mind,
yeah.
I was gonna say, if you can post in the Facebook group a discussion and maybe ask the group, maybe someone else in the BD communities, that has anyone created the ability for members to print membership cards in their directory, and maybe put a sample image of what you're after. What I'd like to do is also take a look at that post, because what I'm thinking is if we can turn it into a tool where the member, when they log into their dashboard area, if you choose to enable it for a membership plan, they basically get kind of like a rectangle here and a print button, and it would print it on a card size, whatever a credit card size is, that's how it'll come out of their printer.
Sure. Okay.
But I don't think it's terribly difficult. I just think it just requires a little bit of focus on it for a little bit. But if you can post it in the Facebook group, I'll take a look, and maybe someone in the community has achieved that themselves.
Okay. Yeah, because I do 99.9% of my websites are WordPress, and yours is one of the first out of the box sites that and it's been fun. It's been a challenge because it's so different from WordPress. But with WordPress, I can go find a plugin and then drop it in and do the design work myself, and then just hook it up. So it's just a post, in other words, is all it would be in WordPress. It would create a post when they signed up, and then it would then you can just design the post and what content you want in the post and how it goes.
Well, now you could do that with, now that you're mentioning it that way. Now that what's coming up next month or the end of this month is the ability to import posts from Zapier using the API and whatnot. You could take the member data and then import that as a post to your BD site with the images, as I mentioned soon. And then create the template for that post with the print button that would already exist on the post page. You just got me excited for a tip of the week topic. It's a little bit high level, but what you're basically doing is you're recycling data that's being inputted into your BD site and then posting it, some as a post, using the API. But because you said you're using WordPress a lot, Roger, this video here, mastering source code changes with BD, it really shows you, I'm going to share this with everyone here in the chat. It kind of shows you the basic logic of how widgets work and where you can edit certain parts of your BD site with regards to page templates and post templates and things like that. You don't need to edit PHP files through FTP. Everything's done in the admin area. So I shared that link with you there. And I do look forward to you posting that in the Facebook group as well. And maybe we could find several workarounds for this ID card thing.
Okay, well, that would be good. I will watch for that, and I will try to get that post in for you over there. So, good. Okay, well, thanks so much for your help.
Likewise, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, fun stuff there. And we got our good friend Lawrence. You've had your hand up for a moment. Thank you for your patience. How you doing, Lawrence?
Hey, so it's actually Lawrence's son. He's kind of busy right now, so he's having me like take over the websites and put work on them, whatever he needs. But I just have one question. With designing the websites, there's a banner on the lower side of the homepage that I cannot find anywhere in the design settings or anything, and I cannot change the banners, and I have no idea.
What's your site? Let's take a look at it together.
All right, it's the Broward County Chamber of Commerce.
All right, let's take a look together here. All right, you said there's a banner. If we scroll down.
Yeah, right here. So if you go up a little bit, right there, those 4 banners down, sorry.
These guys.
Nope, a little bit more down.
Okay, these guys.
Right there. Yep, those ones.
Okay, gotcha. And you want to remove them?
Yeah, or actually replace them with different ones.
Gotcha. All right, let me show you. Let's identify where that's at together, okay?
Yeah.
So if we go to your design settings here, and we can see here there's a lot of custom homepage content here. The majority of it is. It's going to be one of these here. So if we go to design settings homepage, you're probably familiar with this a bit. So we have hero divider, custom content 1, 2. Okay, we have featured members and we have articles. So it's probably gonna be custom content 1 or 2. Let's open up 2 here. Let's actually see here, edit this. And there it is right here.
I see now. All right.
And actually that's the only thing in there. So custom content 2, you can you can delete it, keep it. I can keep it here for you just for now, and you can come and modify it as needed.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right, that was the only question I had. Thank you.
Only question? All right. Well, we love Lawrence. He's been with BD for a while, so glad to hear that you're helping him out there.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, good stuff there from Lawrence 2.0. And all right, we got our good friend Brian B on the line. How you doing, Brian?
Pretty good, and you?
Pretty good.
I have a question about smart lists real quick. What I'm trying to do is I go to my member search, right? And then I will like filter it down by membership type. I have like a bunch of different types of accounts and everything, and they're all like claim listings. What I want to do is have a smart list that excludes my @domainname.com in a smart list. So that way it keeps, as I'm adding more, if it sees that, because I always do like the membership ID @domain.com or an email.
Ask you a question. Once it's a smart list, what are you doing with that smart list?
Well, I want to basically send out a newsletter or an email to everyone in that smart list, but I want it to keep going and keep going and keep going. From that smart list, basically, I'm trying to get people to claim their listings. Basically, send out an email like that.
Gotcha. I have good news for you. I don't want to put an exact timeline, but within the next 60 days,
okay.
Is my personal target for this. We're going to allow you to send newsletters, and instead of only selecting the smart list you want it to go to, is have a secondary section to also exclude anyone who may be in other smart lists. So you can then create a smart list of anyone who has an email address in your .com email and select exclude. So then even if they're part of the main smart list, if they're part of the exclude list, they'll be skipped over when the newsletter is being sent. So you can then search for email addresses at mydomain.com create a smart list of that and set those to exclude from your newsletter. And I understand why you want to do that. One, you don't want to waste your email sending limit. But then also it's, well, actually that's the main thing is, and you're not emailing yourself a ton of times as well. So you'll be able to do an exclude on that.
Actually, we also just got a message from Matt, the co-founder and CTO here. If it's just a normal newsletter that's being sent out, there is an advanced option in there to not send that newsletter to the same domain. So that would be the domain of to emails on the domain of the website.
So when you do that though, like, does it keep checking for new signups and all that, like when you're sending the newsletter? Because normally once the newsletter's done, it's done, right?
Oh, there's a few David, thank you for that. Matt, thank you for that. So here's where you schedule the current method for scheduling newsletters. So there's 3 settings here. So if you're going to send the same email over and over again, you can choose if you want to email people even if they received this email template before. So that could be helpful for you. This is what you're after. Do not send to same domain email. So that's anyone that matches your domain name. Don't send them the email. And
I currently use that one, but I was just kind of curious on, like, I mean, it says email even if you if a recipient has received it, but I mean, I want the reverse of that, the top one, you know?
Yeah, so you probably want to uncheck this and check this.
And then it won't resend people. I can just keep doing that same list over and over and over again, the same smart list then?
You can do the same smart list, and depending on if you check this or not, it'll resend the email to the same person over and over again, unless you check this, and it won't send it in that batch. It won't send the email to that person if you check this. So it'll only send it to people who've never received that email from you. So you really do have a lot of control with this one here.
And then I guess once they do sign up, they're going to get moved out of my claim, so they won't get it if they join, right? So that's basically the thing. They'll like disappear. So
yeah, right. They're not. So if your smart list is going to be people of a certain membership plan, when they claim that listing, they've now selected another one of your membership plans. So they're going to automatically be moved out of that smart list.
So I guess the best way for them to stop getting my emails is to pay me and join, right?
To pay you and join. Be careful. There's an unsubscribe button there. You know, or they can hit spam on their inbox. So I would do it tastefully. Number one, the reminders and incentivize them, and also do it you know, periodically, not too frequently. Make sure you're aware of your frequency.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Let me tell you something else that you can do. Instead of just hammering away at them to sign up to your site, is send emails that like indirectly motivate them, like spotlight another member who may be in a certain category. So you might want to split your claim listing people based on the category they're in, and highlight, again, I'll just use a lawyer example, highlight a lawyer in one of your newsletters, or, you know, and maybe create a little bit of FOMO with them. So you can stay in touch with them tastefully with sending like newsletters that kind of pique their interest, and how do I get involved with what this website's doing, rather than just hammering them with sign up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't trying to like hammer, because I only got like 1,000 a day, right? So I just kind of wanted to, like, you know, as I'm adding their emails in there, because I'm going around getting like business cards and emails and stuff like that, and people are sending me their emails and stuff like that. So I'm basically gonna put their email on there and then just kind of send it out, and when they get the email, and then kind of a thing letting them know that we're here, basically.
Well, that sounds like a quality list of people rather than just like random data that you've added to your site. So those are even more high value contacts. So you should nurture them accordingly. So that's good. That's a good quality list of people then.
Thanks a lot.
All right, great stuff. Good luck with you, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff there. And we're just going into overtime here, guys. We got Gordon here. How you doing, Gordon?
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
I can. Where are you calling in from, Gordon?
I'm calling from Panama.
Oh, I'm going to Panama in May. All right.
Ah, great. Yeah, welcome.
All right. What's your question for us today?
I'm just starting out, and I'm just developing the site. Even though I had the modules for many years, I just want to open a business directory that covers Central America. So it's 7 countries. Is there a way to restrict the subscription and also the search when you look for cities and towns to be restricted to the 5 countries? At the moment, I can see that the option is either it's 1 country or global. There's no option to select countries.
That's right. So if we go to search settings, what he's looking at here is, let me see where that is. Is it under localization?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Here it is, location search suggestions. So the way Google's API works, and what we've been able to do thus far is limiting it, excuse me, to searching all of the world or just a primary country that is set a little higher up here of your site. The primary country in this case is United States of America. When this is set to only search within primary country, let me just show everyone an example. This is a good question, by the way. Let's go to the site here and let's search for Paris now. So we're not going to see Paris, France anymore. Let's see here. That took a second here. So we're seeing Paris, Texas, Paris, California. It's only searching within that country. Unfortunately, Gordon, there isn't a way to choose multiple countries and only search within those as of right now. You may want to search the marketplace and see if a developer has a workaround for that. However, what I would recommend doing when you can't functionally do the restriction is contextually do the function, meaning around your website, really hammer away on your homepage and the sign up page that this is a site for searching these countries. On the sign up page, you can have a little note that this site is dedicated to businesses serving these countries. Listings that are out of these countries will be immediately deleted, and things like that. So you can add friendly alerts. And then also, again, on the homepage and wherever else you're asking people to conduct searches, just really remind them of the countries that are available to search. So using content and content cues to really direct the visitors and what they're searching, as well as kind of trying to mitigate unwanted signups of people who are trying to list businesses outside of those countries. Now, if you do get signups from outside of those countries, really it isn't the end of the world. It just requires a bit of moderation. And speaking of moderation, what you can do if you wanted to make your site have a bit of exclusivity and put a little bit of red tape between the members who join, and this can allow you to maybe charge a little bit more sometimes if it's not just free signups all the way. You can choose to moderate signups. You may not want to do this, but I'll just share it since we're talking about the topic. Manually approve new signups. So people can join your site, but it requires manual admin approval before they're visible on the website. So again, that adds a little bit higher level of exclusivity. It also allows you to maybe build a closer relationship with the members who are joining. They feel like they're going through an application process. It's not just a willy-nilly sign up that anyone can do. So that having that step of an application process makes them feel a little extra special when they do get accepted to the website. And again, it will keep unwanted signups out of your website. And then last thing I just wanted to say, Gordon, is don't overthink it in the beginning and try to think that you need to launch with all those restrictions in place. I would launch your site, make sure you have the content and the titles and the content cues in place that really let people know that your website is serving those 7 countries, and then see what happens after there. There's going to be a lot of what ifs that come up, and rather than suppressing your launch and slowing it down, I would rather launch and then fix things as they come up. Or they might not be problems, they could be opportunities that arise as well.
Thank you, great advice.
All right, thank you for that, and good luck with you. Join us in another webinar and let us know the progress on your site.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff there, Gordon from Panama. And with that, guys, I don't see any more hands up. We did a super overtime today. Before you guys leave, I still see a bunch of people here on the webinar, which is awesome. Go to our Facebook group and make sure you leave a comment to join our free iPad giveaway contest. We'll be announcing the winner May 1st, 2023. Next webinar will be in it will be next week potentially. So we're going to do back-to-back webinars next week. And again, the Facebook group, brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. And it does definitely help us out when you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube. This has been an amazing webinar, so much fun. Thank you guys for your questions. We hope that we were able to help a lot of you out today. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, we love you guys. It's been great. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Bye-bye, guys.